So, Namaste, my dear friends, my dear masters, my dear guards. Welcome to the today's session, the 21 days holistic wellness program. We are in the day 19 today. And my sincere pranams to my beloved Guruji, Brahmanji Patriji. Friends, today we have wonderful wisdom, spiritual wisdom we are going to share with you. We are going to discuss. That is about the happiness analysis. The happiness analysis we are going to do, we are going to discuss. So this is most important subject for everybody's life. Let's focus on this happiness analysis, my dear friends. So let's understand who is happy, what is happiness, and let's understand the happiness analysis we do. We try to understand this subject by dividing the science of happiness. What is the science of happiness and what is the cause for happiness? So there are many factors we need to consider in order to understand this subject, my dear friends. So if you try to understand what is our real happiness, what is pseudo happiness, that is permanent happiness, non-permanent happiness, momentarily happiness, and the complete, the kind of a eternal happiness. So there are different happiness which is available with us, my dear friends. So let's try to understand. We are the human being. We came to the Earth planet, and in order to have more experiences and in order to have the test of our own the wisdom. Friends, when we are in the upper worlds, so we're always living joyfully, blissfully, because since we don't have the conscious mind operating with us, we don't have physical body, we don't have either physical conditions are not conditioning you or the mental conditions are not bothering you. When you are in the upper world, you are in the form of a soul, the soul consciousness. You are living in the high frequency planes of existence. And that is where you're always blissful, my dear friends, because it's a pure consciousness. So it doesn't have any botheration about from the conscious mind, from the physical body. Now, both are not existing in the upper worlds. So you are just living and you are staying as a pure consciousness over there. So hence, you are blissful, you are joyful in the upper worlds. What will happen the moment you come to the physical plane of existence? You take birth on the physical planet, then two conditioning starts coming into you. One is physical conditions, the other one is mental conditions. Because your conscious mind starts growing. Your subconscious mind starts growing right from the day of the birth. At the same time, you also got a physical body. The physical body is governed by all the Panchabhutas. A lot of physical conditions are there here. So we call it as a environmental. So all the environmental conditions, the Panchabhutas is going to play a major role with respect to your body. And your mind is, of course, conscious mind starts developing. It's all driven by your society, parents, all the outside happenings, situations. So a lot of things. So likewise, what happens is somehow, whatever the real happiness, whatever the permanent happiness, whatever the bliss, what you had in the other upper worlds, which will be taken away from your life, which will be no more with you, which will never be with you when you come to the physical planet, my dear friends. So that's what we call bliss, ananda, whatever. That's a permanent happiness. So which is not there in the physical planet. So then what will happen is you started life here, you started doing, you started growing as infant, then you become youngster, then become a child and youngster, and then adult, and then old age. And in every stage, what you're trying to do is, in every stage of your life. So even as an infant, what happens if the mother takes care of you, you're happy. You feel happy, like you're crying for a food or you're crying for something you wanted to play or whatever you wanted. So as an infant, as a child, what will happen? Whatever your requirements are met. If your requirements are met, then you're happy as a child. In a physical body, with respect to physical conditioning, I'm telling you, I'm trying to explain you. So you're happy as a child if your demands are met, if your mother is taking care of you. So you're getting the good food, it is served to you and you're happy. And at the same time, mother is giving you whatever you're asking for, you're happy, you feel happy. Otherwise, you feel non-happy. So that's how it happens, my dear friends. When you are growing to the next level, you are becoming the child and going to the school. If you get good marks, you are happy. If you didn't get good marks, you are not performed properly in the examination, your parents will scold, your teacher will scold, then you lose your happiness. So that means what? This happiness is something like, it's a varying. It's all varying, all the time it's varying, my dear friends. It's all varying time to time from situation to situation. So that is why there are many conditionings are happening here. So that is why what happens. So as a child, you feel happy, you get good marks. The same way what happens, suppose as a child, you get some cold, cough, then you get fever, right? So that's a physical conditioning, the physical environment which has made you unhappy. The reason is you got into ill health. So small ill health happened to you, then you felt unhappy and you're not happy within your body. So you're not happy within your body. So that is also the kind of a conditioning. Is a physical environment is driving your happiness now. The same way, when you go into the a youngster, youngster, what happens? You get a lot of other conditionings, physical conditioning and mental conditionings. So what are those? Like when you go to the college, so you find a good friend, or you find some loved ones around you. So you're always happy. Somehow your loved ones, like either female or male, whatever it may be. So what will happen if they trouble you, or if they talk to you harshly, then what happen? Immediately you lose your happiness. You are happy till that time, you are happy. Till that moment you are happy, but the moment you get the harsh reaction, the kind of the scolding, or whatever the comments, a blaming, some blaming will also come. So some kind of they judge you. So they do a lot of this, like this, all this kind of a mental conditioning starts. The physical conditioning, what? So you got, as a youngster, you got a good bike. Your parents has given a bike. Your parents have purchased you some mobile, and you feel happy. That moment you feel happy. But is that happiness stayed with him? Is that happiness stayed with him from the moment he got happiness by getting his bike, the new bike for him to drive and go to college or whatever? So that happiness is not staying with him. That day is happy, that moment is happy. The next moment, somebody, for example, now, for example, and that particular day, he got a bike and he felt very happy at that moment. The next, in 1 hour, so he get a call from his loved ones, and they start blaming him for some other reason, blaming him or scolding him. What happened? The amount of happiness what he received through the bike purchase, the next moment he got a call. So somebody blamed him, some friend or a loved one, or a female or male. He started blaming him for some other reason. Immediately the happiness goes. The happiness is gone. Again, if he became unhappy now. So then what is this kind of happiness you call it as? Just pseudo happiness. The pseudo happiness. It is not a permanent happiness. It is a momentarily happiness, my dear friends. That means your happiness is depending on what? Depending on many situations, many outside objects, senses. So that means it depends upon the objects, depends upon the conditions and situations, and also depends upon your senses. So the senses basically how it is. For example, you drink a nice coffee, or you eat a nice food, for example. Then what happens? Your hunger is satisfied, and your taste of tongue is satisfied. When the taste of tongue is satisfied, what will happen? Obviously, you feel so happy within you. You feel so happy physically. That kind of happiness, momentary happiness, will come, my dear friends. So that is why. So the happiness is driven by all these factors. It is not, at the same time, it's a momentary happiness. It is not a permanent happiness. It doesn't stay long with you, my dear friends. Similarly, what will happen is, so as a youngster, then you grown into the adult age. The adult age, what happened in our physical life, you try to observe it. So like his child has performed a great way in the examination, the great rank, the highest rank he has achieved. Then what will happen? Obviously, the parent felt very happy. So because his son has performed greatly in the examination, and he got a reward or award, whatever it may be, right? So all this happens because, so the kind of happiness it gets into him, that is again momentary. The next moment, for example, he comes to know his son has got they have done some mistake. Some mistake means like in the physical life, whatever it may be. So he has committed something wrong in some other thing. Immediately he came to know, then that happiness what he achieved through that examination result, this is wiped out. is wiped out. That means again he became unhappy because of his son has done some mistake, some other mistake. Maybe he has quarreled with some other outside person, outside student, his colleague. He quarreled with him for some other reason, maybe for some love affair, whatever it may be. So that way what happens is again the parent became unhappy now. Yeah, his happiness is gone, it's erased, right? So that is why. So this is how, friends, from one stage to other stage in the life, in the physical life, this happiness comes and goes. It never stay with you more than maybe a minute, maybe a kind of a 1 hour or 3 hours or 1 day. So it's that's the kind of the duration it stay with you. The feeling comfort, the feeling physical comfort, mental comfort. So all that kind of a temporary happiness, it's called momentary happiness, stay with you for just the period of some time. That may be hours or a day or 2 days. Beyond which what happened? For example, you got the good marriage proposal for your daughter or a son. Then you feel so happy. Oh, I got very good proposal. Now my daughter, or my son is going to have a joyful life, or you can say like the great life with the the counterpart. So likewise, so that kind of happiness, all this kind of happiness is conditioned by either physical or mental, or by situations, or by the happenings and incidents. So that is why this happiness is no more permanent with you. Try to understand this. So then what is the kind of happiness which is going to stay with you, my dear friends? So first thing you need to recollect or remember, right? Remind yourself is that you are a soul being. You are the pure consciousness, my dear friends. You came to the earth planet, you took the physical life. In the physical life, I explained you about the happiness, what kind of happiness you are going to enjoy, right? So it can be with the objects, the senses, with the situations, with the happenings, with the kind of conditionings. That happiness is driven, okay? Physical, mental conditioning. Now, when you come, try to understand you are a pure consciousness, and the soul consciousness. You are living this physical body. You forgot that. You forgot completely, and you came out of that consciousness at all. That means you didn't have, or you never recollect, or you never reconnect with the soul consciousness. So when you lost that consciousness, friends, so why? Because what I'm trying to say is, in the upper worlds, in the high frequency worlds, that is our home. That's our actual home or house, my dear friends, where we stay for a long time. We come to the earth planet just for testing experiences and paying karmas, and then paying back the karmas at the same time. So we need to, of course, we enjoy the journey. So with the bad and good and great and loss or whatever it may be. So we enjoy that entire life journey. So in some or other way. So that is why we all came here. So in the upper worlds, we don't have so many challenges. We don't have that kind of issues. So when you don't have issues, when you don't have challenges in the upper worlds, your soul qualities, what we call it as Arishad Vargas. So those qualities will never enrich, will never improve in the upper worlds. That is why all we choose, even the great people, even the enlightened masters, sometimes they choose the earth planet or Bhuloka. So we have explained you there are 7 lokas all the way. 7 lokas are existing in the cosmos. So out of that, everybody choose the Bhuloka to come back and to test themselves, to experience the good and bad, everything here, to learn out of it, and then we go back. So that is how it happens, my dear friends. So that's why the great enlightened people, a common person, or an infant soul or old soul, whatever it may be, everybody choose to come back always. So before coming back, you are very happy, very joyful, you are blissful in the upper worlds. So where that bliss has gone out of your current physical life, you try to understand, because you got disconnected from your own soul or soul consciousness, my dear friends. So that is why you lost that particular happiness. That's a permanent happiness. So that is why we try to discuss one more kind of happiness, which is the permanent happiness. What is the permanent happiness? The permanent happiness is derived from your own soul. Okay, the soul, which is the soul consciousness, which is within you, right? Within you. So that soul consciousness will be, the soul consciousness itself is a permanent happiness, or we call it as a bliss, or we call it as a ananda. So that means, friends, the soul is your driver of your body. So you got disconnected from it. So if you are again reconnecting it, you are going through the process of sadhana, your own sadhana, meditation. Then what will happen is you again get the regaining the connection with respect to your soul. What will happen is you started getting again the bliss or ananda within you. So that means that is the kind of happiness, because the friends, soul is a permanent, soul is non-temporary, soul is non-temporary, it is a permanent in nature. So it is eternally existing, everlasting. So what will happen is the kind of happiness what you achieve from again regaining the soul connectivity or the soul consciousness. That is why you found that kind of happiness is permanent and it stay with you throughout the lifetime, my dear friends. That is why you try to observe. So I will try to give more details about this, how to achieve this, this kind of a permanent happiness, how to regain the soul connectivity. We have been discussing in many classes, but today also we try to focus in a different perspective. So this permanent happiness, how do you achieve? So let's discuss this. Basically, this happiness. What are the happiness? I try to explain you. Now you try to understand what is happiness, who is happy, what is happiness. We try to understand now. So let's understand this happiness, friends. The happiness is basically we try to experience in our physical life in the four different manners. Okay, what are those four different manners? We try to understand. So this happiness we experience, the first way is we try to experience a physical comfort, basically comfort, or physical comfort, you can say. So what is that exactly? The physical comfort, you feel some physically happy within you. You get physical happiness by kind of going into the AC room. That means you feel something cool and relaxed, right? So that kind of happiness comes. And so let's say you are all the physical come. Suppose you are sitting on the sofa, right? You are sitting on the sofa. So then sofa when the moment you sit on the sofa, then you feel like comfortable in sitting. That comfortability. So that physical comfortability, whatever it is given to you, right? So suppose you got a bike instead of walking. Let's say you are walking all the time to different places. Then somehow because of your own earnings and all, you got a bike. You purchase a bike, for example. So then what will happen? You got a physical comfortability. Instead of walking, you go to the other places, or you go to whatever the places you would like to go to reach there. So then you use your bike. Then you feel physical comfort. So likewise, you got a car. Instead of going on a bike and getting accidents and all these things, you want to avoid it. Then when you get the car, you drive. You're driving through the car, and then your journey is smooth and safe. So then also you feel so comfortable, and that is called physical comfort, my friend. It also brings happiness within your body. Okay. So next thing comes to pleasure. The physical comfort is purely physical happiness, my dear friend. It's a physical happiness, physical conditioning. Second thing comes to pleasure. So what is pleasure actually? Pleasure comes to be physical and mental. So I mean physical and mind oriented. So how it's going to happen? So when you talk about the pleasure, so then for example, you are you're watching the movie. Okay, you are watching the movie. Then what will happen? So with that movie, what you are watching, so then you get lot of the kind of a pleasure will be the kind of happiness will come to you, right? So that is why we call it as a pleasure is always coming because of you're watching good movie now. So for example, you have eaten a good food, so very good food, very delicious food, and which will remove your hunger at that moment, for example. Then also you feel so pleased inside. So pleased inside by watching a good movie, or by eating a good, so kind of the stumpus, the very delicious food if you have eaten, then also you are pleased inside. So that's one kind of happiness. Is a food basically is a physical, and your taste of tongue, that is a sense oriented. So that's all our physical sense, 5 physical senses are there, with which you're also getting some kind of a happiness inside. Feel happy, right? So you go to a good hotel and eat the food, then you feel so happy, basically. So that's why, so this also called pleasure. And then comes to peace, my dear friend. What is peace? So you become so peaceful if you achieve something, some target. whatever the target it may be in your lifetime. Okay, in your life, physical life, there are many targets. You want to achieve the job, you want to achieve the, as a student, you want to achieve the great marks, or you want to get the promotion in your the present career, the present job, whatever doing. So with all these things, the different targets are there for everybody in in a physical life. When you achieve the target, you are so peaceful now. So it became so peaceful. And then this peaceful, especially the peace, what we call it as it's a purely mind-oriented, my dear friend. It's a purely psychological, right? You feel happy. You feel happy inside and you are peaceful. So no more tension, there no more the kind of stress within you because you are relieved now. So you got a job, you are relieved from your, of course, it's a temporary. Tomorrow, when you are doing job, you get a lot of problems from your boss, from your colleagues. You face a lot of difficulties. Again, your happiness is gone away. That is why I'm telling you. All these are non-permanent. They are temporary, basically. So when they are temporary, means what happens? It's called termed happiness. It is not a permanent happiness, a termed happiness or momentary happiness. So that is why, but let's discuss one by one so that you can get the deeper perspective of this happiness, my dear friends. So now the peace is there. That's the third way of feeling happy, my dear friends. The first is physical comfort, then comes to the pleasure, then comes to the peace. So these are the three layers of happiness I'm trying to discuss with you. The fourth layer of happiness, which is bliss or ananda. So that is going to be derived from your own soul, my dear friends, from your inside to with the help of your sadhana. So with the help of the meditation, whatever, so we are going to discuss later. So, but you are going to get this kind of happiness from inside, not from anything outside. This is not derived from objects, senses, situations, happenings, conditions outside physical environment. Nothing depends on this happiness. They will never depend on all other things, my dear friends. So that is why. So just observe a yogi, a great yogi. How will be happy? He will be always happy. He is eternally happy and is joyful always inside. So does he have a good food? Did he have any bike or a car with him? Or did he get a good food like a hotel food, the different flavors? He did not get it. Still he is happy. And he did not have the food on the right time. No, he did not have the food on the right time. He has to go and beg. No, he has to go and beg for his own alms, right? So even then, with respect to, irrespective of all these things, he is happy and joyful. Why it's happening with him? Because he is always in connection or is living in the soul consciousness, my dear friends. He is always living in the Atmic consciousness. Then what will happen is he knows that he is not a physical body. He is not a physical body. He is living in the physical body. Who is living? His own soul consciousness. He is living in the physical body. So when he is living in the physical body always try to search for the temporary happiness, my dear friends. There is no permanent happiness. It never get any permanent happiness as a physical body. So that is why he is so aware of it. He is so highly wisdom. So he's a wise man. The yogi is a wise man. He's a enlightened person. He knows what is the permanent happiness. That is why he always spend his time or always is living in the soul consciousness. As and when you started living so with the soul consciousness, my dear friends, you will be always happy, irrespective of the outside physical, mental conditionings. Your happiness will be never dictated, never driven by all the outside environment, like outside situations and conditions. So that is why, that is the actual state. Every one of us need to travel, need to go there. So anyway, so let's understand. So this physical happiness in little more detailed manner, my dear friends. So what is that exactly we try to understand? So we will try to understand the science of happiness. Science of happiness is the one which we will try to understand in little deeper perspective. So the science of happiness will try to broadly categorize this physical happiness what you receive. So one thing is spiritual happiness, other one is physical happiness. The physical happiness in totality, we try to divide into the two categories, my dear friends. What are those two categories? The first happiness comes to the first happiness or enjoyment what you receive is the senses, object and senses oriented. That means the happiness related to the objects and senses. Try to understand this. The second one is the happiness related to the non-object and senses oriented. So these two categories are there. Let's understand first one. So what is the first one? The happiness related to the object and senses. Just now we discussed. So the part of this objects and senses related enjoyment. That means through some outside objects, through your own senses, you feel happy temporarily. So that kind of happiness is always driven by. So that kind of happiness, just we discussed, like physical comfort, you got the pleasure, peace. So these three things comes under again this object and sense oriented happiness, my dear friends. So let's understand for more clarity. Let's take the one person. Let's say Mr. A and Mr. B, or Mr. Suresh and Ramesh, whoever it may be. So the names can be anything. But so one person likes a coffee, so other person doesn't like a coffee. One person likes a coffee, other person likes a tea, right? So what will happen now? So the person who likes coffee, he drink coffee and he feel happy. The other person drinks tea, he also feel happy. But the object, the particular, the item is different. Object is different here. The object may be anything, but one thing he is getting is happiness inside, right? So that's called likes and dislikes. So there is something called likes and dislikes. We need to understand. So the happiness depends upon likes and dislikes. That's the kind of. So this happiness is again conditional by difference. So we are discussing about object and sense oriented happiness now. So part of that is likes and dislikes. How it's going to work. So one person likes coffee, so then he's happy. One person doesn't like coffee, but he likes tea, so he's happy with that. So now, so this kind of thing is it's completely driven by the like and dislike, my dear friends. So then comes to see after the particularly this kind of happiness is also there. Then comes to diminishing of happiness. The diminishing of particularly happiness. There is one more something called diminishing of happiness. How does he achieve it? For example, person A likes coffee, so I have given second time one more coffee. The first he has drink the coffee, then he is happy. Second time we are giving one more coffee to him. So what will happen? He may take or he may not take, because so one time he is happy, but second time he may not be happy, right? So that's the kind of understanding. So sometimes what happens? Somebody really like the coffee, but at that point of time his mood is not good. So his mood is not good. What happened to his mood? Because he lost his job, or he lost, let's say, he lost financially. Then what will happen? At that time, you go and offer. He likes tea or coffee so much, right? But if you offer that, coffee or tea, he reject it. That means this happiness is basing on the mood also. So the other way is, like, if you take one coffee, second coffee, obviously you will reject it because it becomes more for him now. So that's called diminishing nature. The happiness diminishing nature, right? So the other one is also, so we try to understand the other happiness, the kind of category, what we call it as the nature of objects and senses. So that means, so let's say Mr. A is happy with the tea, and for example, as far as the sense is concerned, that means the other happiness is, the other way to get this happiness is, if coffee is having more sugar or more less sugar, what will happen is the taste of tongue is not accepting that. Then you will also reject it. So then what will happen? The happiness is gone. That means this happiness is driven by so many things, my dear friends. So that is why the first kind of happiness, as the two categories are there. One is happiness related to the objects and senses. The other happiness is objects, the happiness related to non-objects and senses. Let's understand. The first one is what we discussed now. The second one is the happiness related to non-objects and senses. Let's understand how it is going to work. So Mr. A has got an award for his debate competition, for example. So one person received a great award for his debate competition. So he becomes so happy, right? So is there an object or a sense here? No, there is no object, no sense. But what happened? In his mind, he's so happy. Okay, in his mind, he's so happy. So that's what you need to understand, my dear friends. So the second one, suppose if a scientist has researched about a genes, for example, he tried to discover the great mysteries behind the genes, for example, and then you got a great award. Then also you feel so happy. right? So again, this kind of happiness generated is mind. So mind-born happiness. The next comes to, for example, somebody who purchased the house, right? He purchased the house, and all his relatives came, friends came to the housewarming ceremony. So then everybody praised him. Then also he becomes so happy. So becomes so happy. So that is how the happiness generated is mind now. So because this kind of happiness is a non-object senses oriented happiness, is all about born out of his own mind, my dear friends. It's not now, it's not connected to any objects, any senses outside. Try to understand. The only one sense, sixth sense, that is mind. So it's connected to his own mind. This kind of happiness is generated always, right? So if you try to understand like this, what will happen is ultimately out of these two happinesses, what we discussed so far, one is object sense oriented happiness, one is non-object sense oriented happiness, the mind oriented happiness. These two things. So what is the inference we take now? Let's understand what is the message. There is a one great message within these two kind of happiness, my dear friends. That's what we are going to arrive the solution now. So what is the solution for a permanent happiness? Right? Everybody, we are looking for permanent happiness or not? We are all looking for permanent happiness. We are not looking for temporary happiness, right? The happiness comes and goes. So we don't need that. What we need is permanent happiness. So to understand that, what is the inference, what is the resolution, or what the solution we take out of these two analyses is we try to understand now. See, so whenever you are sipping a coffee, whichever you like, or you like tea, whichever whichever likes the tea, you are getting the momentary happiness when you are sipping it. So what will happen exactly is, try to make a note of it. So when you are taking sip by sip, right, the point of time, particularly you are focused on only drinking tea or drinking coffee. That point of time, what is happening is all the other outside world is cut off. No botherations, no conditions from outside. All other things are cut off from your mind for that moment of time. Try to understand. That means your mind is having only one thought. That is particularly drinking tea or drinking coffee. So then you are giving sip by sip. That point of time, that in the moment of that time, what will happen is your mind is having only one thing. That is particularly your that particular focus on the tea or coffee. That means you forgot the entire world, my dear friends. So that is how what happens is your mind is getting empty. Your mind is getting into the empty state. So that means thoughtless state, right? So that is the state where you derive happiness. You never derive the happiness out of the objects or senses or conditions or physicality. You never derive the happiness. Try to make a note of this. This is the inference we need to take, my dear friends. Similarly, if somebody is sipping a coffee also, you find the same thing, right? At the same time, so the other happiness, which is non-object and sense-oriented happiness, let's understand how it is. There also one inference we need to take, right? What is that exactly? So somebody prized you, somebody appreciated you, you got award or reward. What happened that point of time? So inside your mind, you feel so happy where you forgot everything, my dear friends. You forget everything. The whole world is forgotten by you. Then what happened? Your mind becomes empty momentarily. That point of time, exactly. Because now you are not connected to anything outside. You are just connected to your own appreciation, the prize, what you receive. So then you'll be always having that particular thought inside your mind. It's limited thought, one single thought. That's what we say, that one single feeling you can say, or a feeling and experience. In a single experience we are undergoing now. Your mind is having only that particular the kind of a experience within you. Then what happens? It also gives a lot of happiness, right? So that means your mind is more or less vacated, the empty now. So you have no botherations from outside or the physical environment. Nothing is bothering you now. So then also you are happy. That means these also, see, ultimately the mind is within, the happiness is within the mind, not in the physicality, my dear friends. Try to understand. The entire happiness, whatever the happiness it is, either physical or mental, or whatever the happiness you search for, it comes from the mind. And especially the happiness comes from the mind. Sometimes it is momentarily or temporary, sometimes it is the kind of a permanent. So how does it come? How does it come as a permanent happiness or a temporary happiness? Try to understand. So what will happen is in a physical life, we'll be going through all the situations. So now you have just sip the coffee. After that, you go to some other work or whatever. Then that happiness which you received, the moment happiness you received by sipping coffee, it will go away. That's a moment happiness, right? So that is why. So what will happen is again when you become when your mind become empty, then only you get this happiness again back. That means completely the cause of happiness is your mind only, nothing else. How you keep your mind, how much emptiness you can have in your mind, that dictates your happiness, my dear friends. Nothing else will dictate your happiness. Try to understand. Okay, so that is why. So in order to get the happiness, the root cause is the empty state of mind. We need that. If you have momentarily emptiness, the momentary emptiness by sipping coffee, by sipping tea, or by getting reward or appreciation, that's a momentarily your mind is empty. No more thoughts at that point of time, right? So that is when you receive a momentary happiness or temporary happiness. But the same kind of state of mind, the emptiness state of mind, if you are able to maintain for a long time, right? So how it is possible? It is possible through meditation. So by practicing meditation, what happens? Your empty state of mind. So the first thing is the cause of happiness is empty state of mind, the no mind state. In our mind, the state of mind should be empty. So to achieve that empty state of mind, what we are supposed to do? We are supposed to do the meditation. The cause of happiness is empty state of mind. To achieve the empty state of mind, we need to do meditation. The practice of meditation more and more, then what will happen? Your empty state of mind gets increased during meditation, even after coming out of meditation, my dear friends. Once your meditation practice become more and more, you enter deep sadhana, what happens? Your nature itself become the conscious living. You get into the conscious living. You get lot of self-awareness. You never feed so many thoughts to yourself. Whatever the thoughts may be connected to anything, physical life, or kind of relationships, or job related, or the outside the work related. So many thoughts keeps coming. But the people who are consciously living, what happen? They take only certain thoughts, they leave some other thoughts. They don't entertain all the thoughts. What will happen? The moment you reduce the number of thoughts inside your mind, the kind of emptiness starts increasing. So that is how you get more and more happiness, and you will be staying happily always. You'll be staying something kind of a joyfully will be having a living. Your living will be joyful, my dear friend. That's how one need to understand the happiness you can convert into permanent happiness only by living the kind of a thought-free life. Your mind should be thought-free and your mind should be empty. So that is the state we achieve only through the practice of meditation, my dear friends. Try to understand this. At the same time, I will try to explain you, particularly when you be happy, your health will be good. That means your physical health will be greater. So how do you achieve that? So there is a particularly there is a process behind it, my dear friends. Your physical body has got the great mechanism inside you. When you are happy, it generates certain hormones which are called happy hormones, right? So the inside your body, there are four kind of hormones will be generated whenever you are happy, right? It can be momentary happiness, it is permanent happiness. Of course, if it's a permanent happiness, you are being in the empty state of mind. So more and more time you are spending with that, then you get generated all these hormones all the time within you. That is why you observe the yogi or a Swamiji or a Guruji. What will happen is the face itself, face is the index of mind, right? So he'll be always pleasant in his facial, and he'll be pleasant inside, he's pleasant outside. So how it is happening to him? Because inside his body, all these happy hormones, secretions, the kind of secretion happens within your body whenever you are happy, my dear friends. So those secretions, the four type of the different hormones, the secretions happen within everybody within the physical body whenever you are happy. What are those? The first one is serotonin. The first one you need to make serotonin. Second is dopamine. The third one is endorphin. The fourth one is oxytocin. So these are the four happy hormones will be generated whenever you are happy, momentarily or permanently. Okay. So that is why these four hormones are happy hormones. They are called happy hormones. So what is the first kind of hormone? That is serotonin. So when this will be generated, when you are kind to others, you are kind to other beings, then this also generates. Then when you are doing exercises, regular exercises will be generated. Then when you are spending the time outdoor, like you go to the nature, I told, when you are spending the nature, when you are doing meditation in the nature, then this also gets generated. Then what will happen is you also eat a good food, the good diet. If you are taking, what will happen? This serotonin will be generated, obviously. Then the other one is something called dopamine. This is another hormone will be generated whenever you are happy in the mind. So always remember, the happiness is in the mind, not in the physical level. Okay. So when you feel happy in the mind, momentarily or permanently, all these secretions will happen. The hormone which will be generated during your happiness is dopamine. So what is the dopamine? Again, the same thing. When you are kind to others, exercising you are doing regularly, and having good sleep. Basically, whenever you are having a very good sleep, this dopamine will be generated, my dear friends. So, and also listening to music, try to understand. So when you are listening to music, this particular dopamine will be generated very much. The other one is called endorphin. That is the third hormone will be generated, friends. That one will be generated when you are spending time in the outdoors and during meditation. They make a note of it. That is, endorphin will be generated during meditation. When you are doing meditation, the endorphin will always generated. It gets generated. It keeps you all the time happy, my dear friends. So the same thing, exercising also it generates, and laughing. So if you are laughing and you share your laugh with others, then this also gets generated. So then comes to oxytocin, my dear friends. So primarily, we also call dopamine as a happy hormone. We call they're all happy hormones, of course. Whenever you're happy, all these four will be generated. But we call in a medical science, we call it as a dopamine is a happy hormone always. Then comes to the fourth one we are discussing now, oxytocin. It's a very powerful hormone, my dear friends. So this is a powerful hormone. It's called love hormone. Oxytocin is called love hormone, which will be generated during the things like love and affection. You show love and affection, and also you are having a good laugh, and you are spending the time with the loved ones and friends, right? Then also, suppose you are spending good time with the family, good time with the friends and all, then this oxytocin will be keep generating within your body, my dear friends. Then also, when you are listening to the music, it's also get generated. Basically, this particular oxytocin is responsible for the childbirth, right? So it's responsible for childbirth, even lactation period. During the lactation period of mother, so this hormone is very, very, very responsible. So try to understand. The oxytocin should be properly generated. So for that, the childbirth itself is caused. The childbirth itself is caused in a greater way, in a normal way, natural way, if the oxytocin is properly generated. So, but it is not generated nowadays. You try to observe all the births are taking in the hospitals. There is no normal delivery at all. Even the normal delivery, either at home or in the hospital, is not happening. The reason being, oxytocin is not generated properly because of your stress. The lot of anxiety, lot of depression. Every mother is going through now. Whoever is whoever is becoming mother, so the females, they're all undergoing a lot of stress, anxiety, depression, disappointment in their life because they don't have the spiritual wisdom, they don't have meditation, they don't have understanding, they don't have self-understanding. So how does it happen then? That is why the mother can never give a natural delivery to his child or an infant because of all this, because of the oxytocin is not generated properly. Friends, this will be generated. Oxytocin is also generated during the orgasm. That means the sexual arouse, whatever happens. So during that time also, this particular hormone is always generated. That is called oxytocin. So let's summarize now. So these four hormones are so essential in our life, my dear friends. If you want to be physically happy, mentally happy, so these four hormones are so essential. So how do these four hormones are generated? All depends upon your mind conditioning. What kind of anxiety you have, what kind of stress you are undergoing, what kind of depression you are taking place inside you. So it depends upon all these things. These hormones are either stop or they secrete. The secretion happens mild way or the secretion happens in full way. All depends upon the state of mind, my dear friends. But the state of mind is decided, is always conditioned right? With so many physical factors, so many mental factors, your own life, they're related to from your own life. So all these conditionings are there, right? So many situations you are undergoing, so many happenings are taking place in your life. So because of that, so what the great recommendation or the only solution we all try to find is spend your time with yourself, with your in the meditation every day whenever possible, right? So that what happens, these four hormones always are with you, within your body. Then what happens, your physical health is great, your mental health will be great. Then you also try to get the understanding about your own self. Then slowly your spiritual journey starts. One side spiritual journey continues. Second thing, you can keep all these hormones, four hormones active in condition in your physical body. Then you get the physical health also greater. You are disease free. Your health is always taken care, right? Because of this hormones presence. But many of the people in a nowadays condition, present days, they cannot generate these hormones at all. That is why we are all suffering. Then we have to go to doctor. The doctor will give one more, injection or a tablet, whatever it may be. Again, it will spoil your health. So where is the question of regaining your health, my dear friends? Maybe physical health, maybe mental health. You can never regain unless you start your spiritual journey. I told you the cause of happiness. When there is a happiness within you, these hormones are generated. Then how do you get happiness? What is the cause for happiness? Your mind must be empty. The emptiness, the hollowness within your mind, that causes the real happiness. So let's always try to take an opportunity to practice meditation as and when the time is available for us, my dear friends. So let's start the meditation now. So go into the meditation. Whoever know the meditation, start the meditation. Let's start the meditation today. Anapanasati meditation. Let's start. Switch off the lights around you. Take away your spectacles. Sit comfortably in a chair, on the sofa, or the floor. Wherever you sit, your sitting must be comfortable. Sthira Sukha Asana. This is so essential. You should be able to sit for a long time. Close your eyes. Cross your feet, cross your fingers. Fingers into fingers, cross your feet. Close your eyes. By closing eyes, we conserve 80% of energy, bodily energy. By crossing feet, 10% of energy. By crossing fingers, 10% of energy. So the 100% bodily energy is saved now. Now, start observing your natural breath. Natural breath. No forceful inhalation, no forceful exhalation. Just observe your natural breath. Focus all your energies at the nose tip. Just observe your natural breath. No kumbhaka, no rechaka, only natural breath. Keep observing it. When you observe your breath, mind becomes empty. Breath and mind, breath and thought are interlinked, interconnected. When you stop your mind, the thoughts will be stopped. Then it becomes empty. Mind becomes empty. To stop the mind, observe the breath. If you observe the breath, your thought will stop. Your mind will stop. Then you get emptiness within you. Within your mind, you get emptiness by observing your breath. That emptiness is cause for a happiness. Emptiness leads to happiness. Always we must practice this meditation to keep your mind with emptiness. to fill your mind with emptiness, to achieve the hollowness within you, you must practice meditation, observing natural breath. Observing your own breath brings the emptiness brings happiness. Keep observing natural breath, your own breath. Whatever the happiness you receive through meditation, through emptiness, it stays with you a long time. If you do more meditation, more emptiness, more happiness. If you do less meditation, less emptiness, less happiness. Meditation becomes a habit. It brings emptiness. Emptiness becomes a habit. It brings happiness. Happiness becomes a habit. Make it habitual. Meditation habitual, emptiness habitual, your happiness habitual. This emptiness becomes permanent. Meditation becomes permanent. Emptiness becomes permanent. Happiness becomes permanent. That is the real bliss. That is the ananda everyone must achieve in their own life to lead the blissful and joyful life. At least spend time within meditation. Now and then, time and again, go into this real happiness. Harness this real happiness. Do not attach with the physical senses happiness. That is temporary. Happiness derived from all the physical objects, all the physical senses, all the conditionings, all the situations is keep changing. It's a momentary happiness. Never attach to that kind of happiness. Try to come out of the temporary happiness and get attached to the permanent happiness through your meditation, through your deep sadhana. Last 1 minute, final 1 minute of meditation. Be with your natural breath. Last 30 seconds, final 30 seconds of meditation. Be with your natural breath. Last 10 seconds, final 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Place both your hands on your eyes for 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Slowly open your eyes. Slowly take away your hands. Yes, friends. So let's understand the holistic lifestyle, part of the holistic lifestyle. Today we try to understand about the vitamin D, vitamin B12, and the honey. The first, let's start the vitamin D. Friends, this vitamin D is naturally available very much. Of course, the vitamin D is very essential, the part of your immunity, the part of the bodily immunity. Vitamin D is so essential. And if you take natural foods, obviously, any natural food you take, from the natural food, all the vitamins which are available, they'll be absorbed by the body properly. If you take natural foods, if you take any chemical foods, all these things, the vitamins available from that foods cannot be absorbed by the body because they are mixed with the chemicals. So whenever you have a natural foods intake, you will have more amount of vitamins absorbed by the body. All the nutrients will be absorbed by your body into the blood, and your health will be always great. Now, let's understand. So, what is the importance of D vitamin? How do we get it? So, let's focus on that. So, vitamin D is so essential in order to boost your immunity and to protect from any other kind of bacterial, virus, and any other kind of infections. So, vitamin D is so essential, right? So, now the vitamin D, how do you get it? So, one method, two methods are there. Basically, two methods. Let us understand. Let's discuss. The first method is, so we can apply the Coconut oil throughout the body. Throughout the body, you apply coconut oil. For the male especially, you can apply the coconut oil throughout the body. Just stand in the sunlight. Stand in the sunlight for 20 to 30 minutes. Then what will happen is you are going to observe the sunlight, right? You're going to observe the sunlight. So the sunlight, once you observe, that sun energy you observe, what will happen is the cholesterol within your body is getting converted into D vitamin. Many of the times we try to think the D vitamin will directly come from the sun. It's not like that. So once you apply the coconut oil throughout the body and stand in the sunlight, expose your body to the sunlight for 20 to 30 minutes, then the amount of the cholesterol within you, the cholesterol within your body gets converted into D vitamin. So that's the actual process happens. Similarly, for ladies, what happens is you can apply the coconut oil. Coconut oil also start like parachute, all these things, my dear friends, which is available in the market. No, you have to purchase a virgin coconut oil or a cold pressed coconut oil from the organic shops or otherwise natural farmers. Okay, so if the ladies can apply this coconut oil to the face and hands, that is enough. So they can apply the coconut oil to the hands fully and the face also fully, as much as possible, to the legs also as much as possible. Apply it and again stand in the sunlight for 20 to 30 minutes every day. You can do every day this one. Then you get sufficient D vitamin into your body. The sufficient D vitamin will be generated inside your body. Not that you are getting directly D vitamin from the sun. It's not so. Your cholesterol will be converted into D vitamin by doing this, my dear friends. Otherwise, what happens? Due to the lack of D vitamin, you go to the doctor. He says that you are lacking of D vitamin. Take medicines, take injections, all these things. It's all not required. It's very harmful to the health, my friends. Along with what they give, vitamin or whatever, so they're all chemically treated. A lot of chemicals are there within that. So they're loaded with the chemicals. The chemicals will come inside your body. It does some harm for the immunity of the physical body. Second way of getting this D vitamin is, everyone knows mushrooms, right? Mushroom. The mushrooms, what happen? You try to dry them properly. You dry them under the sunlight. So when you dry them under the sunlight, there is something called ergosterol. Ergosterol is the chemical very much available in the mushrooms. So what will happen is the chemical substance called ergosterol available in the mushrooms. What will happen is when you dry under sunlight, that gets converted into D vitamin, basically. That gets converted into D vitamin. So you can then what happens is after drying up under the sunlight, then what you do, take the same mushrooms, soak throughout the night, you soak in the water. The same water, do not throw the water. Whatever the water into the mushrooms are soaked. So the water with the mushrooms make a curry, a nice curry, and then eat. So what will happen is, now with this, what will happen? The very good amount of D vitamin will be conveyed to your physical body. So that is the greatest benefit of these mushrooms. When you are eating, you will get the huge amount of D vitamin in your body. This is how you have to make with the help of mushrooms, my dear friends. So now this particularly, the D vitamin is so essential and very much lacking nowadays with respect to the software engineers who are always sitting in the AC rooms, who are working in the AC rooms and AC conditions. What happens is you are not exposed to the sunlight, then there is no scope for generation of D vitamin within your body. So that's why take care of this and take the help of these two methods for the sufficient generation of vitamin D within your physical body. Friends, let's go to the B12 vitamin. What is the B12 vitamin? Many of the times outside, like in the hospitals and doctors, they say that you're having you feel tired, you are having a lot of weakness, you're not able to talk, you're not able to get up from the bed. So a lot of weakness is formed within your body. Then you go to the doctor. Then they do some medical test. And then they say that the lacking of B12 vitamin, B12 deficiency, they declare it. Then the moment they declare, they start giving injections for you. Injections like, as I told you, any injections, anything, B12 or D vitamin, whatever it may be, it comes with loads of chemicals. Okay, it's not freely available. It's actually at cost, and at the cost of money, at the cost of health. Both will happen to you. That is why be careful about it. So there are natural methods available. Please use them. So you'll be always out of this B12 deficiency in a natural way. Okay. And at the same time, the doctors try to suggest the people eat non-vegetarian, you get the B12 vitamin. It is also misconception. Maybe some animal protein will have the B12, but we don't need that, because there are other complications by eating animal protein, which I explained in the previous classes. So why do we need to do that? B12 is B12 vitamin may be available slightly in the animal protein, but that is not required for us. There are very good alternatives, plant-based alternatives are there in order to get the B12 in a natural way. So what are those methods? Friends, try eating idli, dosha, this kind of fermented foods. The fermented over the night, you ferment it. Then what will happen in idli and dosha, all these things, the fermented foods. So what is the majorly responsible for the B12 generation within your body is your gut bacteria, your positive bacteria within your intestines, small intestines. Whatever the positive bacteria, the gut bacteria, the microorganism within your small intestines, in your stomach, gut. So that is highly responsible for the preparation of B12 within your body. Nobody else can do that. All what you do outside, getting the outside auxiliary support of injections, all these things doesn't matter, not all required, my dear friends. What is required is you have to protect your bacteria in a greater way. How do we do that? How do we improve our gut bacteria, our positive bacteria? The positive bacteria, gut bacteria itself prepare the B12 vitamin. The B12, what is required for your physical body, for the operation of your physical body, it is prepared by itself. You don't need to get from outside, not all required. Through the animal protein, through the injections, through the tablets, all this is unnecessary. Okay, let's try to understand how do we improve the gut bacteria, positive bacteria. To improve the gut bacteria, positive bacteria, one must start taking fermented foods, as I told right now. So you take the idli, dosha, millet, especially take with the millets, the help of millets. That's again going to remove your carbohydrate problems. What happens to the glucose, excessive glucose gets generated by eating idli with the rice, idli or dosha with the rice. It's again not good sign for the health, right? So try to take millets, convert it into the millets powder, flour. So then that you make it as a idli, dosha, all these things. That is also you're going to ferment for the night. So then with the fermented food, even ambali, you make ambali out of this millets food, whatever. Make ambali over the night you are fermenting, then eating that food in the morning. So for a breakfast or whatever. So then what will happen is it's going to give you highest amount of positive bacteria, which will be conveyed to your physical body. So that is going to produce the B12. Okay. So next thing is, friends, so you take desi cow milk, convert into curd. The curd can be converted buttermilk. Then you start drinking the buttermilk. Okay. The buttermilk made out of the desi cow milk. I'm specifying very clearly here. Do not take the all other the English cows like Holstein, Jersey cow, normally available Nandini milk, all the so-called the brands available here. So that is not the milk I'm referring to. I'm referring to desi cow milk available from Goshalas, convert into curd, convert into buttermilk. So take buttermilk in excessive quantities. So always like morning, afternoon, night, you can take 2 glasses like that. Then what happens? The excess amount of positive bacteria goes into your gut. So that is going to be responsible for generating the B12 vitamin. So at the same time, friends, if you have no facility of desi cow milk, what will happen? You will have coconut milk, you have sesame milk, so which you can prepare from the plant-based milk, which can be generated. That also you can convert into curd, and curd can be converted into the buttermilk. So then you can drink that also. It is going to give you the great amount of the positive bacteria to your gut. Then B12 is taken care. So these are the methods, the natural methods. Try to use it. Now let's understand about honey. So friends, the honey is the very important component. The a part of the food. What will happen is a natural food. So this is going to give is an antioxidant, antifungal, anti-inflammatory, antibacteria. At the same time, it's going to take care of your, the immunity. Immunity will be raised up. So because of consumption of the honey, and your the gut health, the stomach and gut health will also be greater. Your sore, any sore throat or something, it also will be removed. So likewise, there are a lot of benefits of honey, basically, right? But what happens now is the outside market, whatever the honey is available, Dabur honey, this honey, that honey, many people says. So, but they're all actually manufactured honey. It is not natural. The problem is the natural honey which is available is very less. Whatever the brands you take, I don't comment on any particular brand, but I'm trying to say that. So, what is made in the outside market, they're not pure honey, what we can say. Okay, so that is why the pure honey, which is much more important, that you need to check your own sources from where you are buying it. Okay, so one of the source which I know, the recently they have started something called bee farming. The honey which is made out of bees, and the bees farming. There is something called bees farming, like a natural farming. The bees farming is also going on in some parts of the Karnataka. So where they produce the honey in more and more quantities from the natural way, from the bees only. But they do the farming of bees. That means they try to harbor the bees, and they try to protect them and increase their numbers. That is how they are generating the bees in a natural way, natural sense. There's no forceful sense. What happens many a times, you see the honey is made out of the bees. So then what happens? They go and destroy its nest completely, and then take the honey forcefully from that, right? The many of the bees are died because of this. So what happens? I'll tell you. The greatest loss to this humanity, the humanity will be complete. The race itself will be eradicated. Our human race will be completely removed from this earth planet the moment these bees are died. On this, the moment the complete disappearance of these bees are taking place on the earth planet, the human race also get disappeared from the earth planet, my dear friends. What is the reason? Because the bees are responsible for all the kind of the cross pollination, whatever happens between the one tree to other tree, one flower to other flower, right? So that kind of the crossing happened. The kind of samparka happens between one flower to other flower, the male and female. All this happens because of the bee only. That means all your cultivation, whatever the cultivation you are doing, without the presence of bees, your cultivation, your crop, nothing will come in this earth, on this earth planet. So that means you see a small creature, how much importance has given by nature. The nature is supreme. I told many times, the supreme intelligence. The supreme intelligence has created nature one side, human being one side. That means our Purusha and Prakriti. Both are parallel, right? So that is why the part of Prakriti, the bee is also one of the major, it's a small creature, but it's a very prominent creature. Okay. So that is why we have to give the importance for the bees instead of giving the importance to the honey. Try to understand. So that is why if you want to get maybe I can circulate some kind of information what I have. The bee farming, they are doing it, the natural honey which is available from them. Try taking from them and use it, my dear friends. So this is what we need to understand about the honey. So let's understand on mudra today. It's very important and very, very useful mudra in day-to-day life, and which we are all doing it, but we are doing with the unawareness, right? That mudra is called Ashirwad mudra or blessing mudra, my dear friends. So let's understand this. What is Ashirwad mudra? Whenever you do the Namaskar mudra, it's not Namaste mudra. Namaste mudra I explained in the previous class. It's not Namaste mudra. It is Namaskar mudra. When Namaskar mudra, how you will be doing Namaskar mudra? Even many of us doesn't know about how to do the Namaskar to the elders, saints, or yogis, masters, gurus, swamis, how to do the Namaskar mudra. When someone doing Namaskar mudra to the swami or a guru or a master or your elder or your father, mother, whoever it may be, right? So when you are doing Namaskar mudra, then they are going to do the other mudra, which is called Ashirwad mudra. So they do in turn Ashirwad mudra, we do Namaskar mudra, right? So that's why first let us understand how do you do Namaskar mudra. Many of times what happens, Namaskar mudra means we go and touch the elder's feet directly with the both hands like this. No, we should never do like this. your Namaskar mudra must be always like this. Opposite hands, the legs with opposite hands, the crossed hands, friends. Try to observe this. Okay. So you try to cross the hands and touch the feet, both the feet. So this is called Namaskar mudra, perfect Namaskar mudra. And also touching your crown chakra, eyebrow, between the eyebrows, this part, touching the feet. Okay, that's also important. Okay, so the benefit of what is the benefit of that? I will try to explain you now. So this is called the correct Namaskar mudra posture. And when you do this Namaskar mudra, what elders does? Elders does both the hands they place on the head, right? They place the both hands on your head. That is the perfect posture of the formation of Ashirwad mudra. Try to understand, right? So what is the benefit of this? So by doing Namaskar mudra with crossed hands, touching both the feet, what will happen is you are making your positive energy and negative energy circulated within your body, and the blood circulation to your brain, first of all, it will be improved, and then automatically your positive and negative energies are circulated throughout the body. Then the left hemisphere and the right hemisphere of your brain gets activated. So it's having a lot of benefits, my dear friends. And also when you're touching your crown chakra, sorry, the Agna chakra, that is third eye point. So it's not crown chakra. So it's a third eye chakra, it's not Agna chakra. When you are touching at the feet of the elders, what happens is the energy gets passed through this crown chakra, and your positive hemisphere, the left hemisphere and right hemisphere of your brain gets a lot of energy, my dear friends. So that is how what happens. You'll be more healthy, and a lot of energy will be circulated within your body. So this is how you are going to be energized, right? You'll be healthy always. So that's the part of this. That is why everything, whatever our Sanatana Dharma has invented, so all are designed such as meticulously in order to take care of the health at all the times, my dear friends. When you do Namaste mudra like this, right? You do Namaste mudra like this. When you do this Namaskar mudra, Ashirwad mudra, every time, okay, the health is taken care. The holistic health is properly taken care, my dear friends. So whenever elders do this, what happens? Their energy is also going through your hemisphere, the brain particularly. So they get activated, right? They get activated. You'll be more functional. You'll be more dynamic, my dear friends. So that is why. So the effects of this mudra, we'll try to in detail. We'll try to understand now. Okay, what is the effects of mudra? The formation of mudra I explained. Now the effect of this mudra. So during the act of Ashirwad mudra, the positive energy and negative energy of the two hands touch the two hemispheres of the brain. So as well as the crown chakra of the person performing the Namaskar. Right? So this is also going to happen. The next thing is youngsters as well as the elders are benefited by this, and they are energized basically. The youngsters and the elders, the part of this Ashirwad and Namaskar mudra, so both are energized, my dear friends. Then there is a positive and happy feeling that grows in both of the things who are performing Namaskar mudra and Ashirwad mudra. What will happen when you are doing this? You become so humble, you become so happy, like the kind of happiness which forms inside. I told you just now, the happy hormones will be generated again in this during this process of this mudra, Ashirwad mudra. Also, the good amount of all these 4 type of happy hormones will be generated within you, because you are feeling so happy by doing Namaskar, mudra. Elders are feeling so happy by doing Ashirwad to you, right? So that is how. So these are designed for the holistic health, my dear friends. Use it properly, know it properly, know the scientific background of it, and use it properly in your daily life to become holistic, the holistic health you want to achieve, and you want to achieve the holistic wellness. Try to use this scientifically and properly. So friends, let's have some sharing of experiences and your questions.
Sir, namaste.
Namaste.
Sir, actually this, we do this every day, namaskara and blessing, but then we don't do it with an awareness. I want to actually understand. Can you please explain this? You are saying that circulation of positive and negative the energy, that I have lots of doubts.
Well, correct. See, what happens is always you have 2 energies within you. That means positive and negative. The current, the electricity, how the electricity flows if there is a positive wire and negative wire. That means a positive pole, negative pole, both are required. Any current to pass through, through a wire, positive and negative both are required always. The same way, in our entire system, there is a positive energy, negative energy. Both are essential in order to perform the activities of the physical body. Try to understand. So that positive energy means the positive side. What you say, one side of the positive body, the other side of the body always have the negative energy, the negative, what you can say, like the connectivity, the neutral, negative pole, positive pole, like that. For physical body also, there's a positive pole and negative pole, both are there. So if you try to activate both the things, then what will happen? Your circulation will be proper. So what will happen? You see, if negative and positive wires are not connected to a switch, they are not connected to each other. So then what will happen? The bulb will not glow and the electricity will not pass. Similarly here also. So by doing this mudra, we are just interconnecting positive and negative energies together. Then the circulation of energy will be proper. Especially you are touching, your crown chakra and third eye chakra, all these places. You are especially positive and negative. The first of the one part of the brain is called the one hemisphere. The second half is the other hemisphere, right hemisphere and left hemisphere of your brain, especially. So that portions of the hemisphere, the brain gets activated with the flow of this energy takes place in the circulation will happen. So that's why we need to do this. So that is why this mudra is with the cross hands. Okay, if you touch this, then what will happen? If you touch like this, it doesn't circulate. It doesn't circulate like this. Both have to be crossed. Your hands must be crossed. That is why this mudra is especially the Namaskar mudra is invented like this. It should be like this. In order to complete one connection, circuit, in order to form the circuit. Okay.
Now I understand, sir. Yeah, now I understand.
Circuit is important one. Circuit. Without circuit, what happened? It is both are open ends. Suppose if it is a positive, negative like this, what happened? They are not crossed. They are not touched. They are both like this. So it like this. If you keep, no circuit will open, no circuit will work. Electrical circuit, how it works? To be connected like this. Positive and negative must be connected through the switch. Okay. So likewise, our brain also works like that. When you touch like this, the circuit is complete.
Namaste, sir.
Namaste.
So today's class is very nice, sir, and very important things also, sir. Even my personally, for me, vitamin D and B12 is deficiency. So
Yeah.
for that, you have told the natural way of getting vitamin D and B12. This is the easiest way, sir, but no one told, sir. If we go, they are taking a supplement. They are asking us to take a supplement only, supplement or medicine, something. But you are telling very nice, so very important for everyone.
Yes.
I thought just if we go to sun, we get vitamin D, I thought. Even yeah, this is thank you very much, sir, and everything today. And you have told how to be happy. That is also very important for everybody, sir. Make ourselves happy throughout our life means only meditation, and that also very good, sir. Thank you, sir. In my lifetime, I want to continue the meditation without fail. That is my promise, sir.
Sure, definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Yes, Ashok Babu sir. Srinivas Madappa. Basava Shankara. Pranav, can you speak? And Sumangala madam.
Sir, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sir, like yesterday and day before yesterday, I could not join, sir, because of some personal reasons. I was into traveling, sir. So today, the concept was very nice, sir. Actually, how our inner soul, it has to be kept, very happy. Whatever may be the situation, the outside world, but when we keep our conscious in our hands, how we can keep ourselves into the whole and soul happiness. So that's a wonderful concept you have given, sir. So
Yes.
regarding this mudras also, sir, it's a very useful to all of us, sir. So every day you are giving us lots of information, which is very, very important to our day-to-day life, sir. So thank you
Yes.
so much for all this precious
Yes.
words and the wisdom of knowledge, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Right. Yes. Sweta Sagar. Varsha. Friends, some of you are not talking. So try to talk and express yourself. Then we'll understand how much you are able to understand. Any questions are there? We can clarify.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, actually, the tips you are, which you are giving is so unique. So one thing I have a doubt regarding ghee, that there are some people nowadays, they're propagating that when we are having honey, we are actually stealing their food. Because bee generally they will collect this one nectar, and they will keep it for the time when they are not being able to active. When they are not active, they will collect this food for that time. So human
Correct.
being, they steal that food, their food. So that is how some people are saying. Then that also makes sense. So like, what is correct? I don't know. I'm
Yes,
confused.
that's what I'm telling. No? As you said rightly, they collect from all the different flowers. Okay. And in the time of collection, what happened? This pollen, or whatever the pollen, they collect from one flower to other flower. They go to one flower, then next they go to other flower. So likewise, that is the way the cross hybridation samparka happens. Then what will happen? The male and female, the flower gets samparka. Then they start producing, like reproduction will start. The plant started giving the fruits for us, or the kind of a whatever the vegetables or all the things I'm telling you. So especially the moment it goes to a flower, it collect that particular from the flower, it collect that thing. Then it goes to the other flower. Then it's trying to do the cross polarization. Then after that, it go back to its nest. It keeps there, as you told. So it keeps there, and as it's food and all, like it keeps for as amount of time. For example, 30 days, 40 days, the amount of time which is within that nest, then it keep consuming that. Then at one fine day again, so they all leave and then again go back to the crops and cultivation. They keep traveling. So then what will happen is they leave that nest as it is. Then the people can take it. Once it is getting vacated naturally, you can take it. So if it is not getting naturally vacated, what we are doing is outside. We are making them vacated forcefully by damaging the nest. Basically, we do that. So that's how we do a lot of negative karma, bad karma. Okay. So let's not do that. We should not do that just for our sake of food. Honey, instead of honey, many other methods are there. There are many other alternative methods are there. But what happened now, there is a bee farming is going on in some of the parts of Karnataka, where what they do is they sufficiently develop the bees, and then they make sure that, the kind of formation of nest and all these things happen from the nearby, all the cultivation. Then the moment they go out of it, then they take that, because more bees are there. Like, see what happens, the honey, why is not widely available? Why it is manufactured honey available widely? That doesn't have the actual honey. The actual honey is not there within the outside brands. So then you want to have more amount of honey, means you should have more amount of bees. Where are the bees? There are a lot of the deforestation happened. A lot of deforestation happened. A lot of trees are cut off. So where is the question of farming the nest? And the bees are available. Number of bees are reduced so much because of our own human and inhuman activities, my dear friends. So that is why. So they are doing some bee farming by improving the number of bees and all. So the same time, they are able to collect the more amount of honey. So that also you can look at as an alternative. But instead of the entire honey itself, we can put it aside. There are a lot of other methods. You can get all these things from the all other. There are natural products and natural food is available in so many varieties. The nature has given us. It's not one or two. So many are available. So you don't need to worry about it. You don't need only honey and fond of honey and only I wanted honey. There's no such condition. You can avail the other natural products in order to replace the honey also in your daily routine, my dear friends. Yes.
Yes, sir. Then maybe like once in a while for medicinal purposes or something, we can take it. It's not that it is a regular food or something.
No, need not required, not required. Yes. Right. So anybody else want to share? Please share the experiences. Right. So friends, tomorrow will be a Bhagavad Gita, the essence of Bhagavad Gita, the in continuation of the last previous class. It will be there. So you all can join and listen to Bhagavad Gita, essence of Bhagavad Gita tomorrow by Dr. Edlapalli Mohan sir. So tomorrow is the last but one day. So that is 20th day of 21 days, my dear friends. So tomorrow will be the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Yes.
Sir, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning.
Sir, good morning. I'm late, sir. I'm a little working, sir. Sir, today's the concept, the happiness, it was very important, sir. The happiness, we have to, any sort of problems, we have to be smile and work. But by the birth itself, after we are getting conscious about the physical world, we forgotten about the happiness, sir. All unwanted things were set to the mind. So we feel always sad. This was very important, sir. The happiness, which you told, the 4 hormones, that is correct, sir. First one is serotonin, endo. Sir, the second one, sir,
Serotonin, dopamine. Serotonin, dopamine, endocrine, endorphin. The last one is
oxytocin. Yes, sir. These hormones are, whenever we be happy, the lifespan will be increased, the working ability also increase, the happiness, the blessing, whatever you told, the super, very essential, the taking blessing from the elders, taking the child when constantly bowing to their feet and taking the blessing, no, sir. That is what the changes in children's life, sir.
Right.
Very important, sir. Thank you, sir. Good, sir. Today's meditation also very nice, sir. Good, sir.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
I got benefited, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, sir.
So, thank you, friends. Thanks for joining today's class and thanks for giving opportunity to the Mahavatar Foundation. We'll meet tomorrow in the program, the essence of Bhagavad Gita, tomorrow, the session. Thank you. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.